The world was only seconds away from absolute and total nuclear annihilation, and you were never supposed to know this chilling truth. In the beautiful autumn of 1962, the ultimate high-stakes chess game between two global superpowers pushed all of humanity to the edge. Deep inside a suffocating, pitch-black military submarine, trapped far beneath the restless Atlantic Ocean, a single terrifying decision was unfolding. This hidden choice was about to permanently alter the entire future course of human history, shifting our fate forever into darkness. The glowing radar screens flickered violently with warning lights as strategic American warships began dropping heavy signaling depth charges into the deep sea. These explosive shockwaves rolled down into the dark ocean depths, rattling the cold steel hull of the trapped and blind target below. Inside the heavily pressured Soviet B-59 submarine, the internal temperature skyrocketed past an unbearable 50 degrees Celsius within hours. The vital oxygen supply was depleting at a dangerous rate, leaving the exhausted crew gasping for clean air in the toxic, humid environment. The suffering men, cut off from the rest of the world, genuinely believed that World War III had already erupted violently above them. Two high-ranking military officers, driven by rising fear, paranoia, and immense psychological pressure, finally agreed to turn the fateful launch key. This single action would launch a deadly nuclear torpedo directly into the center of the massive American naval fleet, waiting on the surface. The absolute fate of 4 billion unborn human lives rested entirely on the fragile shoulders of just one calm, silent man. Vasily Arkhipov stood completely alone in the blinding dim red glow of the chaotic, screaming, and high-stress submarine control room. Facing down furious, sweating officers who were loudly demanding immediate global war, he maintained an unbelievable and steady sense of calm. His quiet, unyielding voice managed to brilliantly de-escalate the explosive panic inside that iron coffin, holding the line against madness. He forcefully aborted the catastrophic radioactive launch, just seconds before the final countdown sequence could hit absolute zero. High above the crushing ocean waves, inside the tense, smoke-filled walls of the historic White House, an agonizing silence filled the halls. President John F. Kennedy waited through the longest hours of his life for a diplomatic response that might never actually arrive. Secret, highly encrypted diplomatic wires were buzzing through the dead of night between the two deeply divided global capitals. Both rival leaders were desperately searching for an honorable, face-saving way to step back from the burning brink of nuclear destruction. Massive strategic concessions were made in utter secrecy to balance the volatile global scales before any missiles could fly. Powerful nuclear warheads were quietly disassembled and moved out of Turkey and Cuba, completely hidden from the frantic public eye. The terrified public celebrated a sudden, miraculous peace, entirely unaware of how close their world had come to ending. They knew absolutely nothing about the permanent, dark, radioactive winter that had almost wiped out the entire human race. Modern history textbooks remember the loud politicians who proudly signed the famous treaties under the bright, flashing camera lights. But the world completely forgot the silent, brave soldier who truly stood between life and death for all of us. Now, deep inside the classified government archives, newly uncovered secret documents are revealing the terrifying reality of our past. These papers show us just how shockingly fragile our global peace has always been across the passing modern eras. This is the raw, untold story of the 48 hours that almost burned our entire planet down to cold gray ashes. It reveals the incredible grit of a forgotten hero who kept the absolute darkness of nuclear war away from our lives. He saved our collective future, allowing billions of people to live out their lives without knowing the horror they escaped. As we look toward an uncertain global future, one haunting question still echoes through the quiet corridors of modern power. Will we be lucky enough to have another silent hero stand up when the clock inevitably strikes midnight again? Only the passage of time will tell if humanity can continue to survive its own deadliest creations. The lessons of the past remain unlearned as new technological advancements create even faster methods of mass destruction across the globe. Military command centers now rely on artificial intelligence networks that operate at speeds far beyond normal human comprehension or control. A single false data packet or a corrupted software update could easily simulate an incoming first strike before anyone can verify the truth. We now live in a hyper-connected era where the safety buffers of time and human hesitation have been completely eliminated from the chain. The ghost of 1962 still haunts our modern oceans, as silent submarines carry enough destructive power to end civilization instantly. Our survival continues to depend not on the strength of our defensive shields, but on the rare sanity of those holding the keys. Every single day that passes without a global flashpoint is a quiet miracle that we take for granted in our busy daily lives. The ultimate legacy of Vasily Arkhipov is a stark reminder that one focused individual can still change the destiny